push that out a little bit. When you do a preliminary damage assessment, you just want to hit your threshold, which is 190,000 for us, the 36 million in New York State. So we went and visited 4 sites that first time, the 4 that had the most highest numbers of dollars of damage, which is pretty much what you do with the preliminary damage assessment. The state went out, we did that. We came out from our highway guys with around $400,000. When the state was done with that one, they were closer to 600,000. FEMA came out 2 days later, and as of right now, we're just under $800,000 is what they're looking at. That was submitted on September 17th by Governor Hochul to FEMA and President Biden. He has approximately 30 days to respond, can take longer. So right now it's still that wait period to see if we're going to be declared. Once we're declared county, or the state's declared and we're part of that declaration, there'll be a kickoff meeting basically. We've already had a couple other towns contact us. So they'll have a 30-day window to apply if they didn't apply the first time. But it's the biggest factor is it still has to be related to just that August 18th and 19th flooding. We can't go back to July. Those are the couple things, just to highlight another thing so you're aware of. This week is Fire Prevention Week. We are going to do a proclamation at the Tuesday meeting with the full board. And Smoky Sunday, which is an event that Cuba's put on for probably 30 years or more. They invite different fire departments to come out, so they'll have an auto extrication, do evolutions through their training tower, and various other aspects of fire and rescue. There's been 8 departments to probably 15 departments at a time there, usually around 100 people or something like that. So that is this Sunday, 8 to 2.
Okay, any questions for Jeff on his report? Mr. Decker?
Jeff, September 22nd, under fire, it says, smoke in residence, town of Buffalo.
Oh, sorry, Belmont. I think my autocorrect did that or somebody's autocorrect. Correct,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
I didn't catch that.
Okay. Anything else?
Actually, it was Belfast. I correct myself. It was Belfast. It was up by one of the Amish places that just came in as a smoke in a residence, and I was nearby, so I responded.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, thank you.
Next up is District Attorney Keith Slepp, and we have Assistant District Attorney Ian Jones standing in for him today. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. The report's submitted. Nothing particularly remarkable about it. I don't have anything to add to it, and I have no other business to discuss. So I'll take any questions, but other than that, pretty simple.
Any questions for the District Attorney's Office?
Nothing.
Hearing none?
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I did want to let you know that we are live now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, next is Brian Perkins, Staff DWI Coordinator. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I did submit my report. It's been a relatively quiet month for me in the office. Our next victim impact panel isn't until November. We do have a few getting signed up for that. There was the Highway Safety Symposium that I mentioned there that was virtual again this year. It was originally scheduled to be in Lake Placid. So they did a few kind of webinar things on that. Some interesting stuff in there, just kind of about how traffic safety had changed during the pandemic, that there seemed to be all the data that they were getting was that there was less vehicles on the road, there was less chances for things to happen, but the things that were happening were more serious because the offenders that were speeding more, and the risky behaviors that were out there were accelerated. So Just a bunch of data on those types of things, and then they were talking about motorcycle fatalities, things like that, which kind of, again, falls in line with what they were talking on the other topics. So the Traffic Safety Board did not meet last month, and then SAD conference is scheduled for the end of this month on October 29th.
Any questions for Brian? Anything else you wish to comment on?
I've got nothing else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess I should mention for those that are joining us live via our streaming that this is a Public Safety Committee meeting of October 6th, 2021, and joined us apparently halfway through our committee meeting. We're doing our department heads reports. We just had we've been through the public defender, emergency management, fire, the district attorney's office, and now the Stop DWI coordinator just finished his report. And we'll move along to probation director Robert Starks. Good afternoon, Robert.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have my report in front of you, I believe. Just a couple of things to remark on it. Our investigations are still down. We're not getting many orders from the courts yet. So it says to me that the courts are still not, I mean, they're up and running, but getting principals in to get them processed through the court system has taken longer than I think we anticipated. Also, you'll notice our supervision cases are down considerably from what they were a year ago. And we got a report from the state. They compared across the state the supervision levels in June 2019 compared to June of 2021. And they're down across the state 22% of the number of individuals under probation supervision. So I suppose that's not too surprising with COVID and the way it's impacted the system, but it is generally down across every county throughout New York State in the last couple of years.
So does that both pre-trial and regular
It's just regular probation, sentence probation supervision cases.
okay. Mr. Barnes?
Yeah, does that have to do with the fact that less people are being charged or as a result of state rules, and at least that they may be charged, but they're still running around loose at pre-bail and so forth? Does that affect your department at all?
I don't believe there are less people being arrested, but I do believe that because of the bail reform, they're not, I think it was mentioned here a month or two ago about they have, a court can't issue a warrant for someone if they don't show up until it's like the third or fourth time they don't show up. And a lot of these courts only meet once a month when the principals are supposed to be there. So you're looking at a 3-month time period, or even 5-6 months maybe from the time that they were arrested before they may actually even appear in court, or before a court can issue the warrant and have them picked up and brought to court. So there can be quite a lag time if a principal is not responsible and shows up to court when they're supposed to.
So does that mean that it doesn't even come to your attention until they are picked up and?
Well, until they come to an agreement and the court wants a pre-plea or pre-sentence investigation, then they would send it to us. Our only other involvement with them would be as if they're under pretrial supervision.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, that's got to be just about a logistical nightmare for everybody involved, I would think.
I think some of the larger courts, it probably is, yes.
Thank you. Any other questions for Bob?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr.
Brooke Harris. this might not be your wheelhouse, but it's on your report, so I'm going to ask you about it. The tic-tac, trauma-informed care stuff. I'm still kind of at a loss about that. I understand the concept, but the continuing work in that regard, what are exactly the desired outcomes from the work that's being put into the trauma-informed care concept?
I think it's mainly to inform individuals, inform agencies of trauma and how that affects individuals. Obviously, the individuals that come into our office, come into the Department of Social Services, pretty much any service agency, there's probably some sort of trauma that has impacted that person's life. They may not recognize it. They may not understand how it's affected their lives. But I think also it's to inform employees how to interact with those individuals in a more caring way, I guess. There is a school of thought out there that you can, whether you agree or disagree, but there's a school of thought out there that the way you interact with someone, the words you use, the way you speak to them can continue the trauma. So if we can get people to try to understand how to interact better, I guess.
So is it,
we may be
are
able to
these
help them.
meetings, sorry to interrupt, are these meetings just kind of like continuing education for your department and your staff?
Some of it's continuing education, some of it is, so they've got different committees, and I can't tell you off the top of my head what the committees are, but it's basically to promote and to strengthen trauma-informed care throughout the county.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Bob?
Before we get to the MOE, which I remembered this month, just an update on our youth court situation. We are in need of a coordinator, and we're looking for someone who's willing to work with youth 20 hours a week. It's a part-time position. We've chosen at this point not to advertise it on Indeed or some other website like that because it does cost money. So we're kind of doing it by word of mouth. So if you know anyone that might be interested, they can contact me and I can talk to them further about that. And the advisory board can certainly look at their resume. But that's where we're at this point, and it's kind of, we need to fill that position before we can get some other funding to help.
For anybody listening in or any of the legislators or audience here and that's not familiar with the youth court, could you just give a brief synopsis of what youth court is and does?
The youth court is a court of made up of youth. The youth, usually between the ages of 12 and 18, comprise the judge, the defense attorney, the prosecuting attorney, the jurors, the bailiff, whatever other position that is filled in a regular criminal court proceeding. These courts are staffed by teenagers, pretty much. And the cases that we send to them are youth who have admitted to whatever their crime is that they allegedly committed. And they go to these youth court sessions and they are represented by their defense attorney. The prosecuting attorney lays out the situation. They give any defense that they have, and then the jury makes a decision. It's not on guilt because they've already admitted, but they make a decision on what sort of sanctions, if you will, that they may have to complete to fulfill their program. So a sanction could be writing a letter of apology, could be doing some community service work, could be coming back and serve as a juror on future drug court hearings. drug court, youth court hearings, that sort of thing. And once they're complete their youth court proceedings, the case is referred back to us, it's closed. Of course, it's sealed because it's a juvenile case. So it's an opportunity for youth to be basically judged by their peers.
Okay. And you think, how does this bail reform and expanded right to counsel and all that, how does that affect, you think, that the need for those services going forward? Do you think it might be greater or lesser? Or?
Now you're talking about in the criminal court system?
Yes.
I don't,
Raise the age, of course, has a impact on that also, right?
raise the age hasn't had, because we've had so few. I mean, we've had a couple of serious crimes under raise the age, which I still don't believe cost the county anything, because I believe that's all 100% reimbursable by the state. But we've had very few raise the age youth, which we anticipated we wouldn't have many. So that's not really, I don't believe, has affected our office much. I'm not sure about the DA's office and other offices. Bail reform, I already mentioned, and you've heard from the DA in terms of discovery, how much that's affected their office. So I think it's still, obviously COVID is a big part of the equation and the mystery of how effective bail reform and how it's affected our department. So it's hard to say, but you can see the numbers are down from what
Right.
we've had considerably. And so how much of that's COVID related, how much is bail reform related, hard to say at the moment.
All right, thank you, Bob. We'll do your MOE.
So as I mentioned last month, we had not yet received word how much we were going to get from the state in state aid. And then it came in at the end of the month. And it, again, is the same amount that we have received, I think, every year since I've been director. So again, although that amount stays the same, our costs go up. So essentially, it's less state aid that we're receiving from the state.
Right.
So
I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Harris, is there a second? Mr. Dibble. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Thank you.
thank you.
Next up is Gilbert Green, Weight and Measures Director.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Gilbert.
You all got a chance to look at my report. It's kind of short and sweet. My summer helper got me pretty well caught up, and I'm saving some stuff for the interns I'm getting from Elm Street Academy starting tomorrow. So,
Okay.
Good.
Any questions for Gilbert on his report? Mr. Barnes?
Yes. Where you have to go back and recheck a couple scales here
Yeah.
mentioned. Does that mean that obvious that the scales were not meeting the
Requirements, yeah.
requirements? So is that something it's penalized to the people?
Not in Allegheny County.
In other
I
words,
give them a warning, and then they got so long to.
in
I'm
most
pretty
cases,
user-friendly.
it's just slightly out of
Yeah.
tolerance, but
Yeah.
it has to be adjusted and you have to go back. Is that-
They're both of them are 500-pound scales, and they're good up to about 350. So, but they had to have a scale company come in, and they're stuck in the scheduling system. So,
Thank you.
yep.
No other questions? We thank you, Gilbert.
Okay. See you next month.
Yep. Next is Rick Whitney, Sheriff of Allegheny County. Sheriff?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I submitted my report if you have any questions. I would like to add that we were at the scene of the explosion last weekend. They did request our drone, so we did send a couple officers up there with the drone.
Is that still a pending investigation, or is that,
As far as I know, it's still pending, yes.
I apologize.
okay, thank you.
As you can see on the report, we did finally get some COVID cases into jail. We had 7 inmates that were infected. At this point, we have none. They're all cleared. We did have 1 hospitalized for about a week or a little less, but now we're back to, we have none.
When one of your inmates is hospitalized, does that mean you have to put a guard at the hospital the entire time that they're there?
Yes, we have to have 2, actually.
Two
Two.
all 24, over 24
All 24
hours?
hours, yes.
Thank you.
Were those our inmates?
Yes. If it's, well, we even do it if it's a federal inmates, but we get reimbursed for that, so.
Right. Any other thing you wish to point out?
It's nothing on my report, but I would like to mention, as long as we got an audience out there, that October 23rd, we'll be doing our fall pill drops. And it'll be in Whitesville at the Independence Rescue Squad and in Belfast at the Fire Hall from 10 to 2 on that Saturday. So anyone can bring in their unused or unwanted pharmaceuticals and drugs and get rid of them for free. No questions asked.
Yeah, that's been a pretty good program, right? in the
Yes, it
past?
has. Yes.
Any questions for the sheriff? Hearing none? If there's nothing else you wish to comment on, we'll move ahead to your RFPs.
Okay, I believe the first one is to fill 2 full-time emergency service dispatchers. We had 2 that are resigning.
I'll move that, Mr. Chairman.
All right, moved by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Havy. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
The second one is for a senior account clerk typist in the civil division. Our senior account clerk typist has said that she is going to retire at the end of the year. We need to have somebody train with her. That's pretty complicated, so we need somebody to train with her for a couple of months so that they can be up to speed when she retires.
Do they need to go to any other schooling at, like state, what's that, or anything like that, or?
It's not really required, but we do send them to the Sheriff's Association, has a couple of civil schools every year for the updates and everything. Right now, one of our account clerk typists has been going to those schools, and she is working with Sue at this point to get up to date on them.
And that's, would seem to me to be good practice.
Yes.
Yep, protects us. Moved by Mrs. Hopkins, second by Mr. Harris. Any discussion? Jan Burdick.
Is there money in the budget for 2 people in that position at the same time for the training and the current position?
No, I don't believe so.
I think maybe Mr. Binder, he was waving his hand back there. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was unaware of the time frame. If it's 2 months, we'll probably have to discuss how we do that. If it's, do the time frame a little bit longer for the training.
Okay, is that something we think we can work out? It sounds reasonable, it sounds reasonable to me. I don't know about the rest of the committee. We'll find out here in a minute, probably.
Then afterwards, I'll put that with you.
Okay, can we go ahead with this and,
I think yes, you can go ahead with the permission to fill, but I think the sheriff will want to talk to Mr. Budinger about the specifics and the timing of that.
okay. Mrs.
So,
Burdick.
so if there's not money in the budget, how is it gonna be covered?
I am unsure. I was not aware that there was not money in the budget for this. I was not aware that we were asking for so much of an overlap.
Yeah, it's Mr. Barnes.
Two emergency services dispatchers are leaving. How many do you have altogether?
I believe 13 full-time and then part-time,
13 plus part-time?
plus part-time.
So the loss of two is not a major concern?
Well, yeah, it is, because we have to fill 3 shifts. So, yeah, it's a concern.
Is there a particular reason why there's two at the same time that are open? Is it just a circumstances?
I
Or
believe it's just circumstances, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to address the instinct question that we have here.
Yes.
I think the sheriff has a very good point. This, maybe a couple months, I think we need to come up with a way to help him out with this. I've had experience in the civil division at that sheriff's office. It's not simple math, it's complex. It's a lot of liability issues that the county could face, and I encourage us to develop a policy or procedure or a way that this could happen.
I was just suggesting if the committee's not comfortable moving forward on this, if you don't feel you have enough information, we are back again Tuesday, I believe all day Tuesday. Perhaps we could work in a special public safety meeting, get the information back to the committee and move forward with an approval then.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it probably doesn't need 2 months because, as I said, our one account clerk typist who is now helping out our accountant has been working with Sue and trying to learn the job, and she's been going to the civil schools. So we anticipate, after we get applications and stuff, we anticipate that probably she will move to that position, and actually the position we would be filling would be the account clerk typist who
Why don't we
helps the accountant out.
We'll table this, I think, maybe until next, maybe squeeze in a special meeting next week there. And maybe I'll keep everybody, give them all the answers they're looking for. I think we all want to try to, work with you on this without any issue, but there seems to be.
Mr. Chairman,
some
before
questions.
somebody makes a motion to table,
Yes.
a question. We're talking like $5,000 here to cover the one position doubled up, is that right?
Yes, but I want to go back to Mr. Buddinger's point on the 2 months. If you exceed an overlap for too long, you really have to create a position. You can't
I understand the
just- yeah.
logistics, but that's something that, Bobby, you said you could sort out. We could pass this right now and you can sort that out, right?
You could pass this right now, we could sort the rest of it out. They may come back depending on the exact circumstances, but
Well,
they may not either. If they-
instead of coming back, I think it'd be just a lot easier to table it and bring it back next week. And by that time, certainly, if the sheriff's happy with that, and he appears to be happy with that, and Mr. Budinger would be happy with that, right? All right, then I'll move to table it.
Mr.
Is there a
Chairman.
second?
Well, I had a quick comment.
I move to table. So
Okay.
technically, we gotta go on.
Go ahead.
All right, is there a second to table it? Mr. Decker? Second? All right, we'll take a roll call.
Mr. Healy?
Yes.
Mr. Dibble?
Yes.
Mr. Decker?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
No.
Mr. Avey?
Yes.
Mrs. Hawkins?
No.
Mr. Frank?
Yes.
All right. It appears the ayes have it. Thank you. And we'll get all our ducks in a row for next week, and we certainly want to oblige you. That'd probably be a lot cleaner, I think, Sheriff. Thank you.
Yep, just let me know when the meeting is Tuesday.
All right. And anything else, Sheriff?
No, I see that Russ did submit his enumeration update. It's still going pretty well. Sometimes it takes some of the other, like Google services, to catch up with him, but it seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah, I've gotten mostly all positive comments back on that too, and I think we all knew it needed to be done, but sometimes it's not always a pleasant task.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Thank you,
mean,
Sheriff.
Normally, the only negative we get is if somebody's had an address for 20 years, it's wrong. They're not always happy they have to change their address, but.
Yeah. I might be one of those. All right, we'll move on to the county administrator, Kristen Knapp, on legal services agreement.
Yes, I had a last-minute agenda item added to this based on a meeting that I had with Mr. Minor, our county attorney, and Mr. Boyd, our deputy county administrator, with Allegheny Cattaraugus Legal Services. They're our conflict defender firm. And for people that might not be as familiar, what happens is when our public defender has a conflict, they can't handle a case, it goes to this firm under a contract. I believe the contract's currently $235,000 a year. And then when they can't handle a conflict, it then goes on to assigned counsel. So we've had this contract with Allegheny Cattaraugus Legal Services since 2017, and we've just rolled it over on an annual renewal basis since then. It was last put out for RFP in 2010. And in our meeting, we came to the mutual conclusion that it would be best for the county to provide notice that we are not going to participate in the annual renewal and that we'd like to go out for an RFP next year. And they're welcome to participate in that and respond to that at that time. So we would like to terminate the existing contract and re-examine our indigent defense and see how we could improve those services. This should not affect any of their current cases. They'll be able to continue on with representation on their current cases. They just won't be taking any new clients. And there are provisions in the contract regarding that. So if there's any questions, I don't need a resolution, but I would feel better with permission from this committee to provide them notice.
I'll entertain a motion to that effect. Is there?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Havey. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Now, we have some other unfinished business that has to go into executive session, so I think it'd be best for us to enter a recess at this time, and we'll reconvene. At the end of the day, after all the other meetings, and going back into executive session. If I could get a motion to that effect, Mr. Havey. Mr. Decker, second. Jeff, did you have something? We're going to have discussion, so I guess if you got something, you guys.
Yeah, if I could just take 1 minute, please.
Okay.
I really meant to include the sheriff on the drone usage. You know, this is the drone that was a controversy at one time. It was great asset to us. We were able to see live a widespread of area devastation.
Okay.
They came right out, helped us with that. And I also just want to, one other thing, we had great radio communications there. Everything worked that way, so the towers are working. We had absolutely zero cell phone reception. And so we were able to utilize dispatch a lot more than normal. Thank you.
That would have been better safe for probably good of the order, but we appreciate your comments there anyways. All right, if there's no other discussion, we'll call for a vote. All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, we'll be in recess until the end of the meetings today. Thank you.